Hello and welcome. I hope that you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today, where we are going to talk about books. And our first book today is The Upper World by Femi Fadugba. And it is young adult science fiction. It contains one of my favorite science fiction elements, time travel. So The Upper World takes place in a future London, and it's told from the perspective of two teenagers. First is Esso. And Esso finds himself in the middle of a conflict between two London street gangs. As he tries to extricate himself and his friends, he ends up further and further involved with dire consequences. The other perspective is Ria. She is living in the same area 15 years later. Ria has lots of questions about her past. Her new physics tutor, Dr. Esso, has lots of information for her, which may include some of the answers to her questions about her past. Esso needs Ria's help if he is to unravel the tragedy that happened 15 years ago. Esso explains time travel to Ria during their tutoring sessions, and there are light explanations included right in the main story. I really like the addition of the appendix at the end of the book. So if you would like a deeper explanation of the topics being discussed, you can see Esso and Ria's notebook excerpts in the appendix. This book includes a lot of topics that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be included in the plot of a sci-fi book about time travel. For me, it made the story even more interesting. So what are some other books that you could read for a similar experience? I'm focusing on books that include time travel. And the first is Tempest by Julie Cross. And this is the first book of a trilogy. Jackson Meyer is in college. He has a girlfriend and he can travel through time. But it's not like you see in the movies. Nothing changes after he jumps through time. It's just harmless fun. Until strangers burst in on him and his girlfriend Holly, and Holly is fatally shot. Panicking, Jackson jumps back 2 years in time, and he's stuck there and can't get back to the future. Trying to save Holly, he learns what he can about his abilities and meets Holly again for the first time. And he discovers that nothing about his life is what it seems to be. Soon the people who shot Holly come looking for her in the past, and they will stop at nothing to recruit or kill Jackson. He must piece together the clues about them, his father, and himself if he hopes to save Holly. A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine, which is the first book of a 5-book series. The copy we have here at the library has the first 3 books in it, and then we have the other books separately. On a dark and stormy night, Meg is introduced to a new neighbor, Mrs. Whatsit, by her genius younger brother, Charles Wallace. Mrs. Whatsit tells Meg about tesseracts, the scientific concept that their father was working on when he disappeared. When Meg, Charles Wallace, and Meg's friend Calvin go to visit Mrs. Whatsit, she and her friends, Mrs. Who and Mrs. Witch, promise to help Meg and Charles Wallace find their missing father. Mrs. Whatsit and her friends are supernatural beings who transport Meg, Charles Wallace, and Calvin through the universe. This book contains the explanations of the time travel concepts that it includes. It also includes a spiritual element that you don't always find in science fiction. 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. And we don't have a physical copy of this book in our branch of the library. There is an audiobook in one of the other branches that you can request through the catalog, and you can get a digital audiobook or ebook by using some of our online options. So, 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray involves Marguerite, who whose parents are brilliant physicists known for their astonishing achievements. Their invention, the Firebird, allows users to jump through multiple universes. It promises to revolutionize science forever. But then her father is murdered by her parents' assistant Paul, who quickly escapes to another dimension. Marguerite races after Paul through different universes, always jumping into another version of herself. And while she's in the alternate universes, she meets alternate versions of people that she knows, including Paul. Marguerite begins to question Paul's guilt and soon discovers the truth behind her father's death, and it's even more sinister than she imagined. And there we are. I'll be back next time when we will talk about the book, The Storyteller by Catherine Williams. Until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.